Hey, welcome back. In this video, you will learn about concepts and principles of Zero Trust model and which Microsoft products support it. My name is Sushant Sutish and I'm your trainer for this Microsoft 365 Certified Security Administrator course. Let's have a high-level look at the things we are going to learn in this episode. After this lesson, you would be able to describe the Zero Trust approach to security in Microsoft 365. You would be able to describe the components of Zero Trust security, and you would be able to describe the 5 steps to implementing a Zero Trust model in your organization as well. And finally, you would be able to explain the Zero Trust networking to anybody. So without wasting any more time, let's get into it. So let us begin by understanding the Zero Trust principles. So instead of assuming everything behind the corporate firewall is safe, the Zero Trust model assumes breach and verifies each request as though it originates from an open network. Regardless of where the request originates or what resources it accesses, Zero Trust teaches us to never trust, always verify. So what are the Zero Trust principles? First one is verify explicitly. Always authenticate and authorize based on all available data points. This includes user identity, location, device health, service or workload, data classification, or any sort of anomalies. The second principle is use least privileged access all the time. Limit user access with just-in-time and just-enough access, which is sometimes known as JIT or JEA, risk-based adaptive policies, and data protection to help secure both data and productivity. And the third principle is assume breach all the time. Minimize blast radius of breaches and prevent lateral movement by segmenting access by network, user, devices, and app awareness. Verify all sessions are encrypted end-to-end and use analytics to get visibility and drive threat detection and improve defenses. Now let's understand the Zero Trust components and the concepts. Now let's look at the 6 primary components of a Zero Trust model. The first one is identities. Verify and secure each identity with strong authentication across your entire digital estate. The second component is devices. You need to gain visibility into devices accessing the network. Ensure compliance and health status before granting them access. The third component is data. Move from perimeter-based data protection to data-driven protection. Use intelligence to classify and label data and encrypt and restrict access based on organizations' profiles. The next component is applications. You need to discover the shadow IT and ensure appropriate in-app permissions, gate access based on real-time analytics, and monitor and control user actions. The next component is infrastructure. You need to use telemetry to detect attacks and anomalies and automatically block and flag risk behavior and employ least privileged access principles. The last one is network. Please ensure devices and users aren't trusted just because they are on an internal network. Encrypt all internal communications, limit access by policy, and employ microsegmentation and real-time threat detection. So let me help you how to plan for a Zero Trust model. In some ways, the easiest way to think about Zero Trust is to assume everything is an open internet. Even resources we think are safe in our walled garden, with Zero Trust, we move from the world of implicit assumptions made based on a single element to explicit verification of all elements of access. So you may have hardened your external access points by requiring multi-factor authentication or certificates to access your VPN. But many times during investigation, we see that time and time again that either because of new exploits or because of exceptions made to reduce friction with demanding workers, the assumption is that if they are on my network, it's okay and it's good enough. A successful zero trust strategy requires seamless and flexible access to applications, systems, and data while maintaining a security for both users and resources. They need to do their jobs. There are 5 steps to securing your identity infrastructure. The first step is to strengthen your credentials. If users in your identity systems are using weak password and not strengthening them with MFA, it isn't a matter of if or when you got compromised, just how often you will be compromised. The second step is reduce your attack surface area. To make life harder for hackers, eliminate using older, less secure protocols, limit access entry endpoints, and exercise more sufficient control of administrative access to resources. And the third step to follow is to automate threat response. Reduce cost and risk by reducing the time criminals have to embed themselves into your environment. And the fourth step is to increase your awareness. Use auditing and logging of security-related events and related alerts to help detect patterns that may indicate internal attacks or attempted or successful external presentation of your network. And the fifth step is to enable user self-help. Reduce friction by empowering your users to stay productive even as you remain vigilant. So how can you use Zero Trust using Azure AD conditional access? Azure Active Directory provides the strong, adaptive, standard-based identity verification required in a Zero Trust framework. While Azure AD provides intrinsically strong authentication, it also allows admins to express their access requirement in simple terms. Virtually every aspect of each single sign-on is available to define the conditions under which access policies are applied. A framework of controls such as additional authentication factors, terms of use, limited access, and other session schematics regulate access. This guarantees we are secure at access in our Zero Trust approach. Now let's understand Zero Trust networking. Microsoft has a story and strategy around Zero Trust networking. Azure Active Directory conditional access is the foundational building block of how customers can implement a Zero Trust network approach. Conditional access and Azure Active Directory identity protection makes dynamic access control decisions based on user, device, location, and session risk for every resource request. And conditional access provide a set of policies that can be configured to control the circumstances in which users can access corporate resources. Considerations for access include user role, group membership, device health and compliance, mobile applications, location, and sign-in risk. And these considerations are used to decide whether to allow access, deny access, or control access with additional authentication challenges, such as using MFA or things like that. So to accomplish Zero Trust model, Microsoft integrates several components and capabilities in Microsoft 365, which include Windows Defender Advanced Threat Protection. We will talk about that in the later episodes. Then we have Azure Active Directory, Windows Defender System Guard, and Microsoft Intune. All right, so that concludes the Zero Trust model. In the next video, we're going to learn about identity and authentication solution. So I will see you on the next one. Till then, take care.